Well, as per usual, we've all been captivated by the horrifying intricacies of the SCP Foundation, and whilst in many cases we've dived deep into the archives of the terrifying entities and anomalous creations that inhabit its fictional universe, we're yet to fully explore the wider implications of the Foundation's influence, and more importantly, their allies and enemies. In the SCP Foundation canon, these organizations are referred to as groups of interest, which they often keep close check on in fear of betrayal and their devious machinations. So, I guess in that case, we better take a look. Hello horror fans, what's going on? And once again, welcome back to the Scariest channel on YouTube, top 5 scary videos. As per usual, I'll be your horror host Jack Finch, as today, we curiously take a look at the top 5 scariest SCP organizations. Roll the clip. For the curious amongst you, that clip was from the Descent into Carcosa from Season 1 of True Detective, because if I'm being honest, I'll take any chance I can get to show a True Detective clip. Time is a flat circle. Kicking off at number 5, the Serpents Hand. Now there might be a lot to get your head around in the wider world of the SCP Foundation, but perhaps the easiest ease into this concept is with the counter group of activists known as the Serpents Hand, whose primary intention is to bring down the Foundation's containment and let loose all of its horrifying anomalous entities to the world. They believe that humanity and all other peoples of the known world, so we're talking multiple dimensions, don't deserve to be kept in darkness and ignorance in regard to the nature of anomalous entities. And although it may not seem it at first, to be honest, they make a pretty convincing argument. The Serpent's Hand claims that the Foundation, which they refer to as the Jailers, cannot keep imprisoning these horrifying entities forever, save that the whole world ends up in a containment cell. They claim that the Foundation cannot hold the future back indefinitely, and that inevitably the lock will break and an extinction level event will be left up to a coin toss. Not only that though, but the Serpent's Hand seems to have some kind of ancient anomalous technology that they inherited known as the Wanderer's Library, a kind of mystical connection of portals that lets the Hand slip through dimensions and corporeal planes to sabotage the Foundation. Kind of poses the question, are they the good guys? Next up at number 4, the Chaos Insurgency. And if we're asking who the good guys are, well, it's definitely not this particular group of murderous insurgents. As the record states, in 1924 the SCP Foundation formed a covert special task force known only to the mysterious O5 Council, codenamed Insurgency. They were formed by the most capable members of the elite mobile task force known as the Red Right Hand, who were famed for their loyalty to the Council and notorious for their inscrutable secrecy of their identities and operations. In an act of self-subterfuge though, the Foundation claimed to the wider anomalous world that this group turned rogue and went AWOL, along with some of their most valuable researchers and anomalous objects. In actual fact though, the O5 fabricated this story so that the Insurgency could complete missions with ethically questionable methods and politically unsavory results, whilst keeping the Foundation's reputation as clean as it could be. This Insurgency operated for over 20 years, answering only in secret to the O5 Council, completing some of the most heinous operations, all with the ultimate goal to further the will of the Foundation. Well, turns out you should be careful what you wish for, because in 1948 the O5 Council's biggest lie became a reality, and the Insurgency actually did go rogue during a seemingly routine operation. The Foundation was stunned until to this day the Chaos Insurgency operates in a shrouded mystery, often appearing out of the shadows to sabotage the Foundation's inner goings on. Who knows what the hell they want? Well, either that or it's another double bluff. Secret organizations, man. You can't ever trust them. Next up at number 3, Herman Fuller's Circus of the Disquieting. If you've ever seen American Horror Story or read any of the wider works of Stephen King, you'll know that a common trope in turn of the century history was that of the Curiosity Show, otherwise known as a freak show. Well, turns out the Foundation's universe has its own version, and this one is comprised of a whole host of anomalous entities. Although the circus has never actually been observed by the Foundation, they have in fact successfully recovered many of its anomalous performers, who often tell the horrifying tale of the horrors inflicted upon them by the iron-fisted ringmaster Herman Fuller. Some of the instances described at the hands of Herman Fuller are horrifying to say the least, but the majority of them were at the hands of the sociopathic Richard C. Normus, a man hired by Fuller to be his taskmaster, who forced the anomalous entities to breed, treated them like cattle, and mercilessly killed any that displeased him. This went on for years and years, all in the means of Fuller's twisted entertainment. But fear not, because there is a resolute ending to the tale of Herman Fuller's Circus of the Disquieting that is definitely worth the read. Well, Maybe, anyway. As with many things in the SCP Foundation, all is not as it may seem. Or is it? I guess that's the point. Yeah. Coming in at number 2, Marshall, Carter and Dark, which, whilst being one of the most inherently evil organizations in the entire SCP Foundation multiverse, they're also, of course, one of the most polite. As the record states, Marshall, Carter and Dark are an anomaly-dealing merchant corporation based out of London, England, who are infamous for acquiring anomalous items and reselling them to their willing club members at secret ritualistic auctions. Essentially, they are the aristocracy of the anomalous world who have profited from the exploitation of all-powerful entities for hundreds of years, and now they just kind of see the world as their plaything. Despite that though, they've managed to keep a respectful relationship with just about every other powerful organization in the anomalous world. But the thing is, if you cross these guys, then yeah, you're pretty much done for. They're like the East India Trading Company, just with world-ending alien technology and a fetish for cosmic horror. Their structure of power is something to be reckoned with as well. Both Marshall and Carter are some of the most feared figures in both the corporation and the wider anomalous world, but even they fear the mysterious character known only as Dark, an individual that is only ever heard from through his immaculately penned letters, passing his nefarious will down through the chain of command. And finally, coming in at our number 1 spot, NeoSarcasm. I'm not going to lie, this one is absolutely huge in its scale, as in an entire Foundation's worth of archives could probably be amassed on Sarcasm alone. To cut a long story short though, there are 2 opposing forces in the Foundation's multiverse. The Church of the Broken God, also known as the Mechanites, an ancient religion that worships technology and sees flesh as broken, and their counterpart, Sarcasm, an equally ancient religion that thinks the exact opposite. Sarkic cults worship flesh and believe in the apotheosis of humanity and the biological form. Now, in an even more contrived fashion, there are 2 factions of Sarcasm. Proto-Sarcasm, which, if I'm being honest, they're pretty awesome, if not wholly interesting, and the much more nefarious NeoSarcasm, who kind of make Marshall, Carter and Dark look like Looney Tunes, although they're probably related. Ancient cults have a habit of sticking together. Neo-Sarkites are essentially what the New World Order would be if they were fanatical zealots of an eldritch cosmic horror that consumed its followers into a mass of writhing organic matter. They exist in the upper echelons of society, ancient and incredibly wealthy families that span generations upon generations, inbreeding to keep their black bloodline pure. Their ultimate goal is to bring about the war of the flesh once again, ultimately destroying their enemies, the Church of the Broken God, and mushing together the entire population of existence into a big ball of bioorganic matter. Nasty. But the opposition wants to turn us all into cyborgs, so I don't really know what to believe anymore. Well, there we have it, horror fans, our elaborated list on the top 5 scariest SCP organizations. Why don't you let us know your thoughts as well as any choice picks in the comment section down below. Before we depart today's video though, let's take a quick look at some of your more resounding remarks from over the past few days. First up, Mr. Egg says he uses the exact music and backgrounds as Most Amazing Top 10. They also use this theme. Yeah, it's almost as if we're part of the same channel or something like that. Interesting one, Mr. Egg. Next up, the FBI says the one where the stuff happened and the did the Yeah right, FBI, get out of here. This is an SCP Foundation video. You're not kidding anyone. On that note, I better head back to the clone factory. Just stick around all the way until the end. If you're a fan of this particular video, or just top 5 scary videos in general, make sure to hit that thumbs up button as well as that subscribe bell. And we'll be seeing you in the next one. As per usual, I've been your horror host, Jack Finch. You've been watching top 5 scary videos. And until next time, you take it easy.